Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I have some new news concerning Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, Wilder. Deontay Wilder sends a direct message at Tyson Fury. And this is it. He says, hey, at Tyson_Fury, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Blessed. The only thing I want from you is for you to honor your agreement and fight me. I gave you 2 shots when I didn't have to, and it changed your life. Now, it is time for you to be a man and give me my shot as you agreed to. Those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, I agree with Deontay Wilder. I think at this point, Tyson Fury should. He should give him the opportunity, because a lot of things that transpired this year wasn't Deontay Wilder's fault. Okay, it really wasn't. The networks deciding to do other things with football, Al Heyman's decision to bump off that December 5th date, that's not his fault. You know, the bicep injury is the only thing that had anything to do with him necessarily. However, the things that he's done and said to Tyson Fury is almost like what Manny Pacquiao, it's almost like Manny Pacquiao, what Manny Pacquiao did to Floyd Mayweather, or said about the Floyd Mayweather fight that he was injured. Okay, that's, you know, and that pissed Floyd off, and he's like, you know what, I'm not dealing with him anymore. And I think Tyson Fury's really taken that Mayweather route, like I told you guys, okay? On top of that, the 2 shots he did give Tyson Fury, he gave Tyson Fury the opportunity when Tyson Fury called him out. No, he did not have to give that to him. So Wilder's absolutely right. But that doesn't mean Tyson Fury has to do that back. But he did sign a contract the second time when he fought Deontay Wilder, and these guys agreed that whoever lost had a rematch clause that you could exercise. Okay, now that is that. Now, if you signed a contract, this is more than just being a man of your word. You're a man of your word with a contract that you must uphold. But if there's stipulations that he doesn't need to, this is what we're dealing with. And then this is why I think Deontay Wilder is responding to Tyson Fury, because he's calling his bluff. He's calling his bluff and questioning his manhood. Like, hey, if you're a man, you'll fight me, right? My solution to this is, why don't Deontay Wilder get over to the UK, resume his training there, and fight Tyson Fury in the UK? Now, I know Tyson Fury's supposed to be fighting in America or whatever, but then again, he signed a contract to ESPN. But what's going on in the world today? The coronavirus. So it's a flight risk for people coming over there. I know Javon Hill flew over there. You know, you could very well say, well, why don't Tyson fly over here to fight Deontay Wilder? But then he's the champ, so why don't Deontay Wilder fly over there like Javon Hill did? So do you see the back and forth with it? You call it right down the middle, and a lot of people get pissed off, and they're like, why don't you take sides? It's not about taking sides. It's about doing what's right. It's about putting everything out on the table, out in the open, and let people decide what is what. That's what it's about. Okay? And I know this is him referring or responding to what Tyson Fury said and questioned his mental health. So that's what Deontay Wilder said before. He's like, hey, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm blessed. I just want that last fight from you. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. However, what is wrong with what Deontay Wilder did? The shit that he said about Tyson Fury. Again, it was the wrong thing to do. I keep stressing that. He should have waited after that fight been done, because here's my thing. Here's my counterpunch, people. If Wilder wouldn't have said anything about how he felt about him being cheated and everybody else around him, including Tyson Fury wouldn't have this attitude towards him now, would he? And even if he didn't fight him next, he would have fought him eventually. Who's to say he would not? Who's to say he wants to fight him now? Counterpunch. You see what I mean? So the only thing that Wilder really did wrong was coming out now and saying what he did now. But I am glad that he's actually now verbal. So that's a positive thing. You know, because I was one of those guys that asked, where the hell is Deontay Wilder? When is he going to respond? Okay, he's responding. He's responding to what Tyson Fury's doing. Now we got the back and forth. This is the Deontay Wilder that I know. Not that motherfucker that got beat up and stayed quiet. No. This is the Deontay Wilder I know. At least he's being vocal. I don't agree with everything he's done or the things that he said based on the evidence, but that's that. He is responding. He is saying, hey, I want that opportunity, right? And he wants Tyson Fury to give it to him. Now it's up to Tyson Fury. Will he give it to him? Will he scrap the Caballero date or the event with Caballero and put Deontay Wilder there and fight Deontay Wilder once and for all? The third time is a charm. Fight the man and get this man out of your life, because I think if he doesn't fight this man is going to be chasing Tyson Fury for the rest of his career. Then it's going to tarnish his legacy. It is. If you spend your whole, because listen, besides Luis Ortiz, right? We had Dominic Breazeale, but that was last year. But like a top tier fighter, besides Luis Ortiz, who do we have? Tyson Fury. You lose to Tyson Fury and you're hung up on one fighter the rest of your career is not good for your career. Okay? That's the problem. And I don't want Wilder to go down that road, because if he does, it's going to be a hard road to turn around on, because he's put already so much into it. He spent all year with this guy saying, I wanted to fight Tyson Fury and this, that, and the other. And then once he decided to fight Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz did the seemingly impossible, and he wanted to fight him and get out of it. And then it was Tyson Fury saying, hey, you can't get out of it. Okay, well, fair enough, Tyson. Well, if he says you can't get out of it, that means you can't get out of it either. Right? So give the man his opportunity before he loses his damn mind, because he wants to fight you. Now, I will say this. I don't think people that support Wilder really want Wilder to fight Tyson Fury again, because there's too much slander and all kind of other BS that's involving Tyson Fury, that people are just coming with Tyson Fury back and forth, that they haven't done that before. So I'm not sure if they do. That's why I want action to happen. I want these guys to come together and fight once again. So then we can squash it all, because at this point, if they do fight, it's going to be increased security. It's going to be people checking the gloves. It's going to be people, paranoid about certain things. There won't be any damn monitors getting cut off. It won't be any of that. It will be a fight. Matter of fact, and more than likely, let it be in a bubble. Let it be in the bubble, because I think that's easier to regulate. You don't have the distraction of the crowd around you, so you can really focus on the guys, the trainers, the corner, and everybody else involved. So you don't have to worry about that. So then there will not be any excuses. So whoever wins, there won't be any excuses about that at all. That's all you want. A fair crack at the whip, an even playing field, a third fight, because that's what the contract said. Give the man his third fight. Let him redeem himself, because I don't want Deontay Wilder to go out like Adrian Broner. Counterpunch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Deontay Wilder responding to Tyson the Gypsy King Fury in the way that only he can. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.